Fellas, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make better and more meaningful adjustments in College Football 25 that's going to ultimately make you guys better at the game. If you guys are enjoying the free content, the free ebooks, the gameplays, the tips and tricks, make sure to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. We're almost there. I can smell it. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So this first step I'm going to show you guys is how to better block against these man blitzes that a lot of people like to send online. So a lot of times, a lot of popular plays online are mid blitz, pinch bucko, a lot of these man sending blitzes where your O-line might end up double teaming a guy, leaving another free rusher to come home untouched, ultimately sack you, ultimately really frustrate you guys. There's actually an easy way to check this on the pre-snap menu. If you guys hold L2 or left trigger and then right on the right stick, you guys can see in the bottom left that there's a blocking tab. You guys are going to see that right now my O-line is blocking that right side of the line, leaving that left defensive end completely unblocked. And if you snap the ball here, you're going to see he's going to come home completely untouched. This can ultimately be really frustrating online, knowing that you're blocking 6 and your opponent is sending 6, but he's still getting a free rusher off the edge. So now let's talk about how to better stop this. So if you guys know that your opponent is sending a man blitz, everyone on the line of scrimmage is coming, and your blocking assignments look like this, where you see one guy completely unblocked. So now I'm going to show you guys how to correct this. So if you guys check the blocking, it looks something like this, where someone on the line is completely unblocked. There is a way to correct this. If you hold L1 or that top left trigger for Xbox, and then half slide or full slide, it depends. You can see what they both would do if you just hit that stick slightly. But then you can see now, if we check the blocking, that everyone is going to be blocked. This is going to help you guys have cleaner pockets against these man blitzes and better counteract some of these guys that like to just spam this online. So this is a really nice tip. I use this a lot because if you guys play College Ultimate Team or even just College Football 25 online, a lot of people run this. So this is going to help you avoid some of those long second down, third down situations and ultimately beat these guys that like to spam this type of defense. So now what I want to do here is get into some specific routes that you guys can audible to that are going to beat specific kinds of coverage within this game. Having these in your back pocket can really get you out of some tricky situations and ultimately just help you move the ball a little bit better. So this first route, really simple route that if you guys are new to the channel, I call this route constantly. It's just going to be this speed out route. As you can see there, stock, it's about 5 yards down the line of scrimmage. What I like to do is then custom stem it up 1. And against cover 3, this is just going to get in front of the cornerback and outside that curl flat just about every time. The only thing I would say is to make sure that that lone receiver that you're calling this route for is on the wide side of the field. So you guys can see that the football right now is on the right hash and the receiver that I'm isolating is actually on this left hash. So what I like to do here is just freeform it down a little bit, possession catch. You're going to get 10 yards every single time unless they make adjustments around it. But another cool thing you guys can do here is if they start bringing that linebacker, which a lot of people will do, over to that side of the field, over to that left hash, you can just put them on a simple in route. And it's really just going to have a lot of these guys in a bind because you're just kind of playing iso ball on that left side of the field. And then a further thing you can do is just a little route combo like this. Is if they're really playing for that speed out here, you're putting on a little cover 3 beater that they're not really going to be able to see forming if you're just spamming that route. You see there, it was open, but I'm going to show you this, guys, quickly here. That's the way it looks. That speed out that we keep talking about. You're going to streak the tight end, post route that slot guy, and then a quick little in route on the other guy. You're going to see what this triangle does. Finds that soft spot right in the defense. This is a really effective form of offense because cover 3 is a really popular defense, and this speed out is just a staple play. It should be a staple play in all your guys' offenses just because it is so good and so effective. So for this next coverage, we're going to be showing you guys how to beat cover 2. So if your opponent's just going to call a stock cover 2, what I would recommend is hopping into some kind of trips formation and hopping into some kind of verticals play. These are in every single playbook, so I'm sure whatever playbook you guys are running is going to have something like this. For me, I'm in trips offset. I'm going to be calling verticals, and obviously the defense that we're going to be going up against is going to be this Tampa 2, cover 2, same thing. And if you just call a stock verticals play against a stock cover 2, you're going to see how this just absolutely destroys it. That was a bad freeform. That was a really bad freeform, but he was absolutely open. You can hit that guy. You can also hit the outside receiver as well. I'll show you guys with a better freeform what this looks like. Just going to beat a stock cover 2. Stock verticals beat stock cover 2 every time. So if your opponent is hopping into cover 2, this is going to be a really effective way to go about beating this defense. As you guys can see, we also hit the outside receiver. I think this is a big reason why a lot of people don't run cover 2 online. It's because it's so easily exploited. The holes in this defense aren't good enough to match the strengths. So if your opponent decides he wants to call a bunch of cover 2 against you, all you're going to want to do is hop into a trips formation, call a verticals play, and just make sure they're on the wide side of the field. All you're going to do now is enjoy your free touchdown. It's simple as that, boys. For these next adjustments I want to talk about, I'm going to be giving you guys 2 separate routes that beat man blitzes really, really effectively. And then when you put them together, it's going to cause a world of hurt for your opponent. So as you guys can see, we're hopping out in this pinch buck go. A really underutilized route, I think, by a lot of people online is going to be this simple zig route. If your opponent's in man coverage, you're just going to call this zig route. It's going to beat man coverage a lot of the time. The next route I'm going to show you guys is a really underutilized route as well. It's going to be this wheel route out of the backfield against these man blitzes. What's going to happen is whoever's on him, a linebacker, a safety, they're going to over pursue for a flat route or a corner route or something along those lines, just allowing your running back to just kind of run right behind them. This is a really underutilized route, but when you combine this with the zig route against these man blitzes, you're just going to have 2 routes that are completely open. So this route combo right here, the zig and the wheel route, as you guys can see, we're going to hit the zig there. We got the zig route, we got the wheel route. The zig is open there, but we can also take our home run shot, bullet this over the head of the linebacker that's on our running back. We're going to enjoy a free touchdown. So this is some more ammo that you guys can use against these man blitzes that people like to spam online. They can be really annoying to deal with, and I hope some of these tips and adjustments that I showed you guys today are going to help you better deal with some of these guys that like to do this. So now what I want to show you guys is how to make your quick adjustments a little bit faster when you're on defense. This is something that I think can really separate good players from great players, is your ability to make adjustments quickly before your opponent snaps the ball. So if you guys are just clicking onto your players and making adjustments as it goes, obviously that can work. It's going to make your guys more vulnerable to being out of position as your opponent snaps the ball. So if you guys didn't know that pre-snap, you guys can double tap triangle or Y, and that's going to give you this screen. And this is going to allow you to make adjustments, individual adjustments on anyone in your secondary. So as you guys can see here, I'm going to use square. Well, let's say we want to man up square just from that screen, and we're still on this safety. We can do the same thing to the other outside corner. We can man him up as well. We can blitz that slot cornerback there. What this is going to do is allow you guys to stay in position and ready for whenever your opponent decides to snap the ball. Getting good at this and getting quick at this is really going to take your game and elevate it to the next level. What you guys can also do is you can also do these same adjustments for both the linebackers and the D-line. If you guys wanted to adjust your linebackers, all you want to do is double tap right on the D-pad, and that's going to bring up the same screen, but this time it's for the linebackers. You can blitz X, you can also blitz square. You guys can see there. You can also make uniformed adjustments for the linebackers as well. If you just tap the left, on the D-pad one time, you can spread the linebackers, shift them left, shift them right, blitz all. You have all those adjustments there. You can also do the D-line as well by doing the same exact thing, but instead left on the D-pad. You guys can see we have these individual adjustments for anyone on our D-line. We also, just by pressing left on the D-pad one time, we can now spread, pinch, shift right, contain. Once again, this is going to allow you guys to take your user and stay in position at the same time, moving all the different pieces around on your defense to the way that you guys want to. Finally, let's talk about some in-game adjustments that you guys can make before you guys call your plays and the effects that it's going to have during the plays itself. So in terms of these 2 read and pitch keys, these are really important. If you want to coach your players to play a certain way every single time, this is where you can change it right here. So with the read key, personally, I like to have it on conservative, where it's going to focus on the quarterback every single time when your opponent is calling a read option. So let me show you this quickly. So now that we have put our read key onto conservative, whoever is responsible for that read key is now going to stay home and read that quarterback read option every single time. This is going to make it so that the correct read is now going to be to hand the ball off to the inside zone, which in my opinion is a play that has a lesser chance of being an explosive one, whereas I think if the quarterback were to hold on to it and get outside the defense, that is a better chance. That's just something I like to do. You can also flip it and make it so that it reads the running back every time. That's all just up to you guys. What you guys can also do is change the pitch key. The pitch key, I think, in my opinion, I like to have it on aggressive, whereas now instead of reading that quarterback every time, what it's going to do is read that running back every time. This applies to these speed options, these load options. So now that we've set our pitch key to aggressive, let's watch as the CPU runs the speed option here. Whoever is that pitch key is going to stay home on that running back the entire time, making it so once again the correct read would be to keep the ball with the quarterback. These are plays that people like to run all the time on college football. So if you guys want to do pre-game, set these settings to the way that you guys want to have it, that can mitigate some of the damage on these sorts of plays. Now I want to talk about something that has taken my game to another level on the defensive side of the ball, and that is playing around with these zone drops. So once you get a good feel for your opponent, you can start to play with these sorts of things. If you guys don't know what zone drops are, basically what these numbers are, it goes from 0 to 30. For any player on your defense that is going to be in these respective zones. For flats, it's going to be hard flats, cloud flats, and soft squats. For the curl flats, it's going to be curl flats, obviously, quarter flats, and seam flat zones. And then hooks are going to be your yellow hook zones. What this number means is that is the number of yards that these players are going to get from the line of scrimmage. So if you have it at 0 for these zones, they're supposed to play right at the line of scrimmage, just hovering over that short yard range. You have it all the way on 30, they're going to be, as soon as your opponent snaps the ball, they're going to start to drop 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So playing with these numbers can really be an effective way to take away some of the things that your opponent has shown that they like to do. So if you guys want some numbers to do stock, for flats, oddly enough, I like to play that as my deeper flat zone, my deeper outside zone. So I like to have this anywhere from 15 to 20. Curl flats anywhere from 5 to 10, and same thing with hook zones. But I would recommend as the game goes on to continuously change these numbers based off of what your opponent likes to do. If your opponent really likes to hit these underneath routes, maybe drop these flats to 10, maybe drop them to 5 if you guys want to. But if they're really trying to take like some deep corner routes or some deep wheel routes, maybe up this number a little bit. Same thing goes with the hook zones and over the middle of the field. But these numbers are something you guys should be continuously changing. If you guys want some stock numbers, this is kind of the way I like to do it. So that's going to do it for all these tips and adjustments that I want to show you guys here today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you guys can, like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Once again, we are on the road to 500 subscribers, so each and every subscription from this point forward is going to mean that much more. But I hope you all enjoyed. It's your boy Tether, and I'm out of here.